As a track day enthusiast, as a drift enthusiast, and as a massive car enthusiast in general, there are few new cars coming to market that I was more excited about than this, the 2022 Toyota GR86. And I'm here at Monticello Motor Club in New York to check out what the second generation 86 sports car is like from behind the wheel. So let's get right into it. Visually, I think the new GR86 looks fantastic. It somehow manages to tidy up the lines of its predecessor while looking more aggressive at the same time. And I love the hyper-stylized details on this vehicle, like the aggressive duckbill spoiler you get on the GR86 Premium, or in this case, the contrasting blackout treatment with the blacked out wheels, the black mirror caps, especially against this track-bred red paint. It looks so sharp in person. Inside, things are remarkably like the outgoing 86. You have very similar buckety seats which sit very low. The driving ergonomics are fantastic. The steering wheel is a really nice compact shape, really easy to grab hold of. The shifter actually looks the same as the outgoing model, but they've completely revised the transmission and the shifter assembly. And the overall ergonomics are fantastic in here, whether it's on the road or the track, as you can see. Inside, the biggest change is this digital display right here, which is configurable between the different drive modes. If you put it in track or sport, the gauge cluster changes shape. The way the information is displayed changes. And crucially for track day enthusiasts and car enthusiasts in general, this thing shows you real-time coolant temp, real-time oil temp, and this big flashy tachometer makes it really easy to know when to shift at the 7,500 RPM red line. But the big news here, I think, as far as most people are concerned, is the new powertrain under the hood. Gone is the FA20 2-liter naturally aspirated Subaru flat 4, and it's replaced also by a Subaru powertrain. This time, 2.4 liters, also naturally aspirated, 12.5 to 1 compression. It produces 228 horsepower and 184 pound-feet of torque. That's a 20 horsepower bump, and more crucially, a 20% torque bump. And they've managed to engineer out most of the infamous torque dip that the original car had. That complete void of torque from 3,000 to 5,000 RPM is pretty much gone now, and instead is a nice fat wall of torque. And that's because peak torque is down from 6,600 RPM in the original car to just 3,700 revs in this car. And in the real world, it feels so much faster as a result. There's no delay. The way it pulls out of corners in the bottom of third gear like that is fantastic. And compared to the original car on this very same track, this thing is way faster. And I know that because Toyota was brave enough to bring the current 86 out here alongside this one for us to compare apples to apples. That's still a great handling, very fun to drive sports car, but this is much faster, much more capable. Woohoo! It actually has enough torque and power to give you nice oversteer moments coming out of corners like that. This engine is a huge, huge upgrade in my opinion. I was one of those people that didn't cry for a turbo on the 86. I like really buzzy, exciting, naturally aspirated engines, and that's what this finally has. It's so much better. It sounds better, it pulls better. It's not lightning fast. Toyota says it's 0 to 60 in 6.1 seconds, which is very conservative. It's more like mid to high fives, but it feels great. It feels like a great amount of power for this chassis. So I bet you're a little curious. What about GR? This is a GR86. Well, Toyota's gonna start divvying up TRD as the off-road and trucks division and GR as the sporty road car division. GR Supra, GR86. And I'm sure a GR Corolla is coming in the future. Woohoo! But what that means is you'll soon be able to go to Toyota dealerships across the country and buy a range of GR performance accessories for this car. They've confirmed there's an intake, a catback, brake pads, a wheel and tire setup. And it's awesome that you have all this support from a company that builds this amazing sports car. And don't forget the fact that if you buy one of these, you get a free year of NASA membership. That's the North American Sports Car Association. You get a free year membership along with a free track day if you buy one of these cars. How awesome is that? For the real track day nerds out there, I want to point out that interestingly, despite Toyota and Subaru not adding an external oil cooler to this new powertrain, it does seem to run cooler than the outgoing 86. Those cars had notable problems with keeping oil temperatures in check, going over 270 degrees Fahrenheit without an oil cooler, making that kind of mandatory for hard track day use. Interestingly, watching this and driving it back to back with the 86, while that car got to about 270 oil temps rather easily, this has not gotten over 250, which is very, very nice. That's a workable limit for a good synthetic oil. Compared to the old FA20 engine, the new FA24 does have a small heat exchanger under the oil filter that's similar to what you'd find on the WRX STI. Basically, it has a passage that allows coolant to flow through it and absorb some of the heat out of the oil to help regulate temperatures better. This also doubles as an oil warming setup and allows the car to reach operating temperature much more quickly when cold. So let's see, this new engine is way torquier, seems to run a bit cooler, it's way faster, it sounds better. And this revised manual transmission with strengthened internals and revised shifter feels and shifts much better. There's no more weird digital on-off switch from the clutch. It also feels better as well. So the powertrain overall is a massive improvement. The interesting thing is the chassis though, because this is a direct evolution of the first gen model. So much so that many aftermarket suspension components will actually bolt right on to this new car from the old car. That's really cool for the tuner scene because it's obviously going to have a huge aftermarket tuning scene. What that means that if you've driven a first gen car dynamically, this is going to feel very familiar to you. Though Toyota says they've lowered the center of gravity 1.6 millimeters from the outgoing car, which is very specific, but I like it. I mean, it's better. It handles even flatter. Man, the torque is unreal. I just short shifted an 8.6 and didn't like get penalized for it. That's unbelievable. And the interesting thing is, I actually drove this on the road as well, and it's more civilized than the outgoing car. Thanks to a more solid chassis and structure design, it absorbs impacts a lot better. It feels less brittle than the outgoing car did. Look at that nice pulling power, 4,000. Right up to 7,500 RPM red line. Woo! That's nice. So, in every way, seemingly, this is a better car than its predecessor, which is amazing because it's not that common that happens with new cars. It's faster, it's torquier, it feels better from behind the wheel. Woo! The only question is the price. At the time of this filming, Toyota has not finalized pricing in the US. It said it'll start under $30,000 for the base GR86. Some reading between the lines, we think this is going to start right around 28 grand for the base model and right around 31 grand for the GR86 Premium. Woo! Actually hit the rev limiter for once. You definitely didn't do that in the old car. So let's see. I think the styling is fantastic. The revised powertrain is a solid improvement. Dynamics are every bit as good as the old car, despite having about a 40-pound weight penalty compared to the old car. And as long as they keep the pricing in check, this is still one of the best value enthusiast cars money can buy. It's so sharp and so good to drive. And few cars, irrespective of price point can deliver the kind of excitement and fun that this thing does when you wring its neck, whether it's on a back road or the racetrack. Woohoo! Yeah, I want one. I want one real bad. Wow, I really, really want this. Oh, it's so good. Go drive one for yourself, folks. This is in every way an improvement over the old car, which was an already good sports car, but this is now a great sports car. Oh my God. Woohoo! There we go, baby! Woohoo! Alright guys, I think that's all I got for this one. Go drive the GR86. It's fucking awesome! My name is Jake. You've been watching Drive, Brake, Fix, Repeat, and I'll see you guys next time where I go do more fun things with cars. Bye!